Okay, so I was a really big fan of the ghetto setup of last video, so I wanted to recycle it to talk about my favorite content creators and comfort videos because I think it's a really good use of my time. Since a lot of my YouTube video watching is done on my iPad, I think it's only appropriate we use it to refer to when talking about these creators and videos. So, my first one is a little controversial, but don't get your panties in a twist. A lot of people agree with me, I think. I feel like, no, because every person I've talked to about this series has agreed with me. Maybe I'm just friends with sickos. The Shane Dawson Texas series, everything from the airplane seats to like helping Graveyard Girl is like peak YouTube. I think it was like 2016. I can check. 7 years ago? God damn. And as like problematic as the people in the video are, it had nothing to do with any of the things they've done in the past. It was more so just like fun with friends, and I think that was really refreshing to see or revisit because of like, especially because of everything they're going through right now, and like watch this and just forget they're terrible people sometimes. That and the Spooky Boys, they would play games and then do rituals and stuff and like explore haunted places, and I feel like the only one who really makes content like that now is like Garrett. I just can't stand any of Shane's new stuff and just like him now in general, but it's fun to revisit that series like every so often. And I seen that series specifically because it went on for a while and I know they made bank, but low-key they deserve it because it's kind of peaky too. Anyway, speaking of the Spooky Boys, Garrett Watts is definitely like one of my top 3 just YouTubers in general. These videos I've rewatched like 5+ times. One of the few like older people, like adults, that just make me not fear adulthood. And I just kind of like love the idea of making your stuff kind of revolve around embracing childlike wonder, even though I will be approaching adulthood, that I don't have to lose that imaginative side of me, and that I can still enjoy and find community in things that I love that may not be considered mature. I wish I could articulate it better, do it more justice, but I'm just yapping for this. Okay, moving on. Here we have Sofia Nygard's videos, like older videos, I want to say pre-2018, kind of fresh out of BuzzFeed Sofia. I went to a Japanese spa theme park and I got a Japanese Lolita fashion makeover. A lot of them are in Japan, and I feel like that was like her peak content in Japan. I mean, traveling videos became like a pretty core part of her content lately, but that one and then the ones in Korea too. I think like the ones which would say Asian countries, I think those are the best. Oh, damn. Okay, moving on. I think the part of those videos that I really did like were how well researched they were, and also how respectful she was when traveling to these countries, taking the time to like learn their customs and to like make sure they're giving accurate information to viewers, something that even the biggest creators kind of overlook sometimes. And I think she's really good at being sensitive about that. They're really entertaining, so check them out. Okay, this is kind of a weird transition, but speaking of BuzzFeed, there are a few gems, okay? Don't at me. There are some gems series on BuzzFeed that people like kind of slept on, and one of those being Mom in Progress. This is kind of niche, but there is the series on BuzzFeed about a mom, Hannah, and her 2 kids, or 3 kids, now 4 kids. It was Jackson, Wyatt, Henry, and now Eleni, I believe. The series followed the world okayest mom, Hannah, and low-key, she needs to give herself some more credit because from what I've seen, I mean, obviously you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but from what's on camera and how those kids are behaving like in the videos, I think she's a pretty great mom. And also it kind of sucks like how underfunded this series was. They'd be giving thousands of dollars to people to like try some pretentious dish or something, and they give her nothing to pay for her child's birthday party at Legoland. Should have been given more. They should have been the more like funded. Anyway, so again, speaking of BuzzFeed, we have the Try Guys' old videos. Not saying that their new content isn't good, it's just not for me personally. Like, I feel like after they stopped being a group of guys who tried things, it just wasn't my thing anymore. But specifically the Without a Recipe, the early Without a Recipe. And I know there's a really controversial person involved in like almost all of these old ones, but like if you just overlook that and him being kind of unfunny, it's just wholesome. I hate that I said wholesome. It's just good content. It's entertaining, and it's not like substantial in any way. Like, I don't get like emotional gratification from it. I just think it's good laughs, and sometimes that's just all you need. So don't at me. Alright, I'm gonna keep the rest of this a book because I need to speed this up. My back is gonna die. But here we got Wasabi Productions, Old Wasabi Productions, Ultimate Nutella Sandwich, Two Man Hide and Seek, Define Friend, Proud to Love Candy, How to Go Back to School, Food Hacks 2015, Rolando the Explorer, Makeup with Rolanda. And a lot of kids my generation, like, we grew up on these videos, and I do believe they tried to have a comeback. Like, it was Spicy Fruit, and I watched some of their videos. It wasn't for me. I think they know that their audience has grown up, so they tried maturing their content a bit, but they're like smoking and stuff on camera, and it's just like not extreme, just like trying to overcompensate, trying to over acknowledge. Is that a thing? Just like playing into it too much, I think, makes it a little bit cringe, but that's just my opinion. I do still love their stuff, and I did try watching some Spicy Fruit. It's just not for me, and if I just need some good innocent laughs, then I just go to old Wasabi Productions videos. Joanna Cedia. She left around 2021, 2022, I do believe. I will check that. Honestly, like, I would be lying if I said my YouTube channel wasn't like at least a little bit inspired by that. Her old videos were so good. So for me, we're just like a week in the life of an overdramatic teenager. I feel like all those were just raw, authentic, and just funny. She was just really funny. Alright, so moving on is, you guys know, you guys love them, Slushy Noobs. They've recently blown up a lot, and I think a big part of that is because of like TikTok and like the clips of their Instagram lives, which are funny. And wow, that was really insightful. For the videos that specifically resonated with me are the we went to the Comic-Con on shrooms, the hotel sleepover mukbang, the camping vlog, the Halloween mukbang, the haunted school vlog. And those are the ones I can like really rewatch and rewatch. I don't really think I'm a huge fan of the gaming videos. Like, sure, the episode videos are funny, but I don't really go out of my way to watch them as much as I do these ones because they're gold. I don't watch their lives because I can't watch lives, period. If there's any putes of like media I cannot consume, and I cannot watch lives. Those are the most boring things. Like, sure, something interesting happens every once in a while, but I'd rather just see that in a separate thing where everyone cuts out all the fluff and I see the funny. So that's just my dopamine seeking brain, but I don't know about you guys. I also wanted to talk about the miscellaneous videos, some random videos that I included in this because I just enjoy them. I don't know how else to explain it. They're good videos. So here we got TLC UK, specifically the Amish Girls series. Here I have specifically the buy bathing suits for the first time, but I also really like the piercing one. I don't know how much of it is real. Like, if anything, these guys can just be all paid actors, and it's like really cool seeing these girls discover their individuality, especially in like such a collectivist like culture. And but I really love Jenna Marbles. I feel like 2017, 2016 is like peak Jenna Marbles, where she made like a bunch of dog content, and her in her new house, I feel like that period of time, from her making her boyfriend's favorite meals to like their content in the new house, like making vegan Thanksgiving food. And for no other reason other than it's just entertaining. It's just harmless fun. Like, and honestly, that's a lot of my favorite content I've been discussing so far, so gotta keep up with it. Anyways, some honorable mentions of creators that might not have been mentioned earlier. And sorry about the fan, I'm not gonna turn it off because I'm not gonna get up anymore. Sorry, that was kind of aggressive, Jesus. Also, I apologize in advance if I sound kind of weird and I'm lisping, but it's because I have my retainers in and I was just about to bed. So, but then I remembered these honorable mentions and I want to talk about it before I went to bed. Anyway, so I wanted to mention Funky Frog Bait, one of the few commentary channels that I can actually stand. I feel like a lot of them are so obviously exploiting like these sometimes really serious situations, and Funky Frog Bait usually does target like the sensationalized internet drama, but approaches it with not only humor but also like taste. They're also just really funny. You could tell a lot of effort goes into the videos that they make, and I really appreciate that. So here are my favorites from them. Funky Frog Bait's content's more like interactive, just entertaining. That's really well said. I highly recommend. Rotten Mango, Nowhere Lover. Current situation she's in though is kind of scary, and I'm not going to go into depth about it, but if you watch her or know what's going on with her through like commentary channels, then you would know. But I love her stuff, really well researched, really high effort production, and just highly recommend her as well. Next we have Eric the Electric. I'm gonna speedrun this. He's very entertaining, very real. He time lapses his stuff and he does food challenges that are actually genuinely impressive. Like, I'm gonna put some of them up here, but they're genuinely impressive. Like, I could watch a mukbang and be like, I can do that too. I don't know, they're super impressive. Like, these challenges are no joke, and not only that, he time lapses it. Yeah, that's right, time lapses it. You know he's not spitting that out. I feel like a lot of mukbangers spit out their food after chewing, which is like wasteful and also like just sad. So I like that he's authentic with it. Anyway, for these last two, I'm gonna kind of group them together, but New Lifestyles, ABB, and Shell Bisley. I don't know if I said that right, but they really push anti-consumerism, like environmentalism sentiments. As someone who used to kind of like rely on retail therapy for like that sweet dopamine hit, I just like watching them gave me alternatives of like things to do except for shop, and just like made me realize how big of an issue that consumerism is in privileged, affluent societies like the US, which is where I am. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you liked it, and I hope you agree with my takes. And if you don't, I don't care, because they're mine. Bye!